On July 30th, 1975, under the blistering heat of a Michigan summer, one of the most powerful men in American labor history stepped into a quiet suburban parking lot and vanished completely. 50 years later, investigators admit they may never know what happened to him. His name was James Riddle Hoffa, better known as Jimmy Hoffa, president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. He was a man both feared and admired, a man who shook hands with presidents and mob bosses alike. His rise was legendary. His fall was catastrophic, but it was his disappearance that became the mystery that haunts America to this day. By the mid-70s, Hoffa was desperate to reclaim the Union presidency he once ruled like a king. The powerful men, dangerous men, did not want him back. Organized crime bosses, including those he once worked with, believed Hoffa had become a liability. He knew too much, he talked too much. And worst of all, he was threatening to expose everyone. Still, Hoffa refused to be silent. On the morning of July 30th, he left his modest home in Bloomfield Township and told his wife, "I'm going to meet some people. I'll be back for dinner." Those would be the last words she ever heard from him. Hoffa arrived at the Matchew's Red Fox, a quiet restaurant that catered to businessmen and upper-class locals. He told friends he was meeting two mobsters who had promised him support. For getting back into the Union, Anthony Tony Jack Giacalone and Anthony Tony Pro Provenzano. The problem? Tony Jack and Tony Pro later claimed they had never agreed to meet him. Witnesses saw Hoffa pacing the parking lot, checking his watch, getting visibly angry. At 2:30 p.m., he made a call from a payphone, sounding irritated and betrayed. "Where the hell are they?" he reportedly muttered. Minutes later, something happened. Something quiet. Something fast. Something final. A car, never clearly identified, pulled up close to him. Hoffa walked toward it. Some say he leaned in through the window. Some say he got inside voluntarily. Some believe he was forced. But everyone agrees on one chilling fact. Jimmy Hoffa was never seen again. Within hours, the FBI was notified. They found Hoffa's car, but not Hoffa. No witnesses, no screams, no struggle. Nothing. Rumors exploded instantly. Some said he was taken to a suburban Detroit house, strangled and cremated. Others claimed he was buried under the Horseshoe Casino in Cleveland. Another version said he was entombed beneath Giant Stadium in New Jersey. Still others swore his body had been crushed inside a car and shipped overseas as scrap metal. But even with endless leads, raids, and interviews, the FBI found nothing. The prime suspects refused to talk. The mob remained silent. The witnesses either lied, disappeared, or forgot. No body. No weapon, no trace. It was as if Jimmy Hoffa had walked into that parking lot and stepped into a black hole. One FBI agent later said, "Everyone involved in Hoffa's disappearance is dead." The truth died with them. In 1982, after 7 years of searching, the state finally declared Hoffa legally dead. But the case never closed. Every few years, a new credible tip surfaces. A deathbed confession, a suspicious field, a buried drum, a burned-out house. The FBI digs, tears up concrete, searches forests, even drains lakes. Nothing. It is one of the longest-running mysteries in American history. But the darkest theory, the one whispered by investigators, is that Hoffa's killer wasn't a stranger. It was a man he trusted, a man he once helped gain power, a man who stood to lose everything if Hoffa returned. They believe Hoffa got into that car because he recognized the face inside. A friend, a brother. A betrayal so deep it ended with a body no one would ever find. Today, nearly 50 years later, the parking lot remains. The restaurant is gone. The men are dead. But the legend of Jimmy Hoffa is bigger than ever. fueling documentaries, movies, books, and endless whispers about where he is or what's left of him. Maybe he's buried under a highway. Maybe he was thrown into a furnace. Maybe he lies somewhere under the soil of Detroit, inches from where people walk every day. Or maybe, just maybe, the truth was never meant to be found. Because the men who made Jimmy Hoffa disappear knew exactly what they were doing. And they made sure he would never come home for dinner. What do you think really happened? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more unsolved mysteries.